My name is Anna Spagnoli and I'm with the University of Padova. I will present this paper on behalf of my co-authors. This paper represents an opportunity to reflect upon some assumptions underlying the application efforts in one field of HCI, focused on eco-feedback applications. Eco-feedback applications are software applications designed to improve the sustainability of the user's lifestyle by reducing their consumption of non-renewable resources. The first generation of these applications displayed some consumption data to the users. The second generation of these applications included some psychology-based features to motivate behavior change and to make the data displayed more meaningful. My co-authors and I contributed to developing some of these applications. The target of eco-feedback applications are inefficiencies, defined as any form of consumption of non-renewable resources that can be trimmed or avoided. The way in which eco-feedback applications work is by automatically tracking the user's consumption of one or more non-renewable resources, displaying consumption data, penalizing or praising consumption based on how far it is from a predefined goal, and discouraging inefficiencies with the use of advice and factual information. The user who still persists in inefficient consumption habits after using eco-feedback applications is then a user who fails. In the literature, these failures are implicitly or explicitly attributed to the laziness of the users, the inertia of their habits, human irrationality, or sheer ignorance. But are those assumptions correct? Are inefficient habits always and only bad habits? To start addressing this question and these assumptions, we have included in our paper 2 case studies. The methodology is described in the paper. We will synthesize here just their contribution to our discussion. The first study was an online survey on inefficient consumption habits. Respondents rated inefficiency on a list of habits and could explain their ratings in a text box. We collected 397 such explanations and grouped them into 4 categories. We found that 33% of the explanations connected in some way an inefficient habit to idleness or ignorance. 25% were downright rejections of the idea that inefficient habits were inefficient, and 41% of the explanations proposed good reasons to keep those habits, reasons such as hygiene, security, or comfort. So these results highlight that there might be priorities, just for example, hygiene, security, or comfort, which can turn, in the eyes of the consumer, an apparently inefficient behavior into a justified use of renewable resources. The second study is a small observation study in which we shadowed 6 participants while they were using their electronic appliances at home, and we interviewed them. From the video recordings, we selected the episodes in which they performed some inefficient consumption behavior, such as, for example, the participant who keeps the door of the oven open or the door of the fridge open while doing something. If these 2 participants were tracked by an eco-feedback application, their behavior would cost them points. But as it is clear also from the interviews, this behavior makes full sense to them because it is able to prevent undesirable consequences from happening, such as, for example, having a cake unevenly baked in one case, or forgetting a packet of cheese in the bottom of a box if it's not rearranged after going to buy some new groceries. So by encapsulating moves that seem to be inefficient from a sustainable point of view, users are able to prevent undesirable scenarios. If these inefficient behaviors were removed, maybe those undesirable scenarios would be more likely to happen. So to go back to the question, inefficient behaviors are not only bad behaviors. They can help and represent a starting point to identify which priorities compete with sustainability, which compensatory moves can be planned to preserve those priorities, and what are the situational causes of inefficiencies. This will help to pursue eco-feedback applications of a next generation, in which users are not persuaded but empowered. Applications do not provide information to increase awareness, but to reflect and decide. And applications do not focus on punctual behavior, but include the context in which behavior occurs. These would be applications that are transformative applications and that have been encouraged by many authors who were critical of the second generation of eco-feedback applications. Thank you for your attention. Thanks to the students who helped in the studies and to the sponsors of the project.